Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So today is October 12th and let's do a quick recap of what happened yesterday. So yesterday we had the bi-weekly update, which we talked through. There was an update from Besu. We talked about Lord Bog changing his positions and really hurting the ratio a lot. I think he sold 1200 ETH worth, and a bunch of other big sales happened around that time too. And we've got a bunch of new mini pools, and Ken and others shared some information from Bogota, and the trading was getting the bear market blues, and we talked about the chess tournament as well. So there was lots of good stuff yesterday. Now let's talk about all the drama that happened today/yesterday. So the first thing is pretty much right after I posted the episode yesterday, Rami Rod shared this screen cap from events that said RPL inflation occurred. 20,277.7 new RPL minted. The total supply now is X. Current inflation percentage 5%, blah, blah, blah. And the question mark. And then Butter was like, bug. And Rami Raj said, I hope, but I don't know. And then Butter says, wouldn't that mean there's RPL to be claimed? And Butter says, no, my note says no reward is available. And then Doofus says, maybe it's a random inflation feature. And basically, people like Rami Rod is like, we're hacked, question mark. And Ludicrous Smoothie says, so we're just minting our own RPL now. And then there's a transaction that shows the mint happening, and people are kind of freaking out. And then there's a screenshot of the mint happening and that going through, and then person trying to withdraw RPL but that failing. So we're like, what's going on? And Jasper saying, wait, it worked. What? Should we be tagging team members? And then Maverick, do you see this Kane being tagged? Other people checking if they can do the inflation mint tokens function as well. And all of this, like the contract, the address is like doing all these weird things, transactions that are failing over and over again. Nobody really knows what's going on. People now start selling RPL, thinking there's something weird going on. That was a sale for 17 ETH worth of RPL, 1000 RPL. Here, there was 10,000 RPL sold, 162 ETH worth. So people are just like, what on earth is going on? Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's kind of scared. And then let me go here. So then Kane comes in and he says, anyone can call inflate. So everybody's like, wait, what? And then the Butter asks, is this bug or a feature? And Kane says it's intentional. So let me kind of explain now how this works. So once a month, RPL is inflated every reward cycle pretty much. And normally what happens is that a member of the ODAO, which is the Oracle DAO, calls the mint function and brings the new RPL into being, which then gets distributed as rewards and to the ODAO and to the PDAO for funding and stuff. So nobody else has ever done that except the ODAO. So people in trading yesterday thought it was only something that ODAO could do. So they were kind of thinking, did someone figure out a way to hack RPL in order to the Rocket Pool contract in order to steal like the newly minted RPL tokens? So it turns out anyone can actually call the function to mint it, and then that RPL just goes to the contract waiting for the distribution period to begin. It's just the reason why people do it is because it costs gas and it's pointless. So you just do it once a month when the new distribution period comes up, and then the ODAO tends to do it because it obviously costs gas, so they're the ones who tend to use that function, and then it's ready to distribute. So that this person, whoever's trying to call the minting, was able to do it, but when they tried to call withdrawal, like withdrawal failed, set withdrawal address failed, withdraw, they kept trying to withdraw RPL, but it kept failing because there was no RPL there to withdraw. So let's go and have a look what else happened over here. So Bossy said this is all over my head, and others saying it's over trading's head, and Popus says apparently the node operator that minted the RPL is a compromised node, and there was a conversation going on in support right now. So that was a little bit clear now. So someone's lost access to their node. The person who took over their node was trying to well, I'll come back to that next, was trying to figure out what was going on. So then Kane comes back a little bit later and he says, looks like someone's node was compromised, and in an attempt to maximize extraction of value from the contract, they manually called inflation, and it didn't do anything for them, obviously, because they don't have, like, it's not ready to distribute, right? So it's not going to do anything for them. So as the day goes on, we get some more information about what seems to be happening, and Patches has this theory and gave a step-by-step guide, so I'll read that out for you all. So attacker gets the wallet, looks up its Etherscan history. Attacker sees previous stake RPL transactions, decides that's juicy, goes to the contract. Attacker tries to withdraw RPL, and that fails, obviously because it's all locked. Attacker thinks, odd, maybe I have to confirm the withdrawal address. Tries to do that, it's already also fails. Obviously that's set up during the node and the mini pool setup. And then thrashing the withdraw function in a state of confusion. Obviously it wasn't withdrawing because it's all locked. Tries withdraw ether because why not? And then there's just more thrashing going on there. So basically it looks like they wanted to withdraw the staked RPL, failed to do that. Then tried random buttons to see if they could make the chain state amenable to withdraw RPL function, and they couldn't do that either. So all that panic that kind of happened in trading was people just not understanding that this was a regular function being used in a irregular way, and that's what caused some of the confusion that we saw in trading yesterday. And then so that kind of sums all that drama up. So it was basically a storm in a teacup. However, people kind of got scared, got worried, and thought something a lot worse than what actually was happening. So next we had this comment from Jasper, who shared this screenshot from the MakerDAO Discord. It says, hey, a question on governance process. With the target day of rETH to go into the executive vote for 19th of October, would we Oasis need to submit another MIP blah 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 whatever to request access to the rETH Oracle, even though it's not active yet, to try to make sure we can be whitelisted on rETH Oracle for when the rETH launches? Or is there anything in the previous MIP, I guess that's Maker Improvement Proposal 10C9 application that was approved, that allows us to just request to be added to the whitelist for rETH Oracle and the same exec for rETH going live? And we'd love to offer the full suite of tools on Oasis for when rETH goes live on Maker. So it seems like the date for the executive vote on rETH now is scheduled for the 19th of October. They said it'll be around the middle of October, so I guess that's technically true. So hopefully rETH will go live on Maker before the end of the month, which I think won't be that big a deal, because I think it's only 5,000 ETH to begin with. That's setting a limit, but hopefully it'll open the doors for other protocols to integrate with rETH also, like Aave. Next, we have this GMC nomination thread. So Valdorf here says per RPIP 10 and RPIPs 10.md, and then there's a link where you can go read that. This thread will be live for at least 5 days. So anyone can nominate anyone, including themselves. Anyone can remove themselves from consideration simply by saying so. After 5 days, there will be a "this thread is closed" comment, and the final list will then be generated. If you are nominated and don't remove yourself from consideration, please read the nominee information sharing section of RPIP 10 so you can be ready to provide your statements. Since this is running in parallel with PDAO Treasury nomination, please also state how you're handling that, e.g. removed self from consideration on one, would happily take both, would remove self from consideration X if selected for both, blah blah blah. So this went live yesterday, and then Valdorf kicked us off with 2 nominations, one being Kalurduran, who got the GMC's RPIPs and stuff going. So Valdorf said would love to have them on the committee. And then there's Joe from the dev team, and Joe's expressed interest repeatedly and would be an asset. They work closely with many contributors, including some that aren't as noticed by the community at large. And then we had Donda Chaka, who nominated me. I'd like to nominate Wak Wak Attack because the GMC should consist of well-informed beating hearts of the community, which was really kind of Donda Chaka to say. Kalurduran also nominated Encryptix and Wanda, and then Patches nominated Ken and Marceau. So it seems like that list is filling out quite nicely. If anyone else wants to nominate themselves or nominate anyone else, I guess this is the place to go and do it. I had a message of someone asking me to explain the full governance process. So I think I'm going to make a separate video explaining that whole process, because it can get quite technical and there's lots of steps to it. So anyway, in this part of the process now is these people are being nominated for positions on the Grants and Bounties Management Committee. And if they don't want the position, then they'll have to reply to this thread or make it clear on Discord or something else that they don't want to do that. Otherwise, get ready to do it. So that's great. And Dandachaka was so kind to nominate me, and I think I will accept that nomination, like, and go forward with providing my statement of what's the term that nominee information sharing section, so I can provide my statement. So I'll be doing that in the next couple of days. So if people want me on that committee, then I'll be happy to accept that. So let's move on from there. So yesterday in Bogota, Vitalik was delivering his opening statements and the opening of the conference, and during the event, Vitalik gave a shout out to Rocket Pool. He was talking about different liquid staking derivatives out there and like services, and in his list of services he mentioned Rocket Pool first, which was really nice of him, and that was good to hear that Vitalik knows who we are. Okay, let's move on. So this is an interesting little bug that Patches came across and like helped find. So, and he shared it with us in trading. So he says there was a node operator in support who left the smoothing pool a week ago, but proposed the block through BloxRoute today, and it sent his reward to the smoothing pool instead of his fee recipient. I dug into it, contacted Joe, and then contacted BloxRoute directly, and they found a bug. So basically what happened was, this is what BloxRoute said. All right, looks like we figured out which builder was responsible for it. Bug on our end, where the registration used to be saved in a persisted store on our builder directory, and we would use that file above what we got from the relay. This used to be fine when our registration was sent to the builders when something was updated, and we stopped pushing registration updates to the builders, but left the files in. I removed the files so they won't be used anymore, so fee recipients will also always be up to date. We're going to get the 0.27119 ETH sent to the correct fee recipient as well. So the person who missed out on those rewards will get ETH sent to them from BloxRoute, and the smoothing pool will get an extra 0.27 ETH to give everyone a teeny tiny little boost. So when Patches was talking about that, he used the smallest emoji for, it was like a little bread crumb. So yeah, Patch is doing great work in support and like finding all these little things that are out there. So good job, Patches. Thank you for that. Okay, next let's talk about Bogota for a bit. So here we have a video shared by Kane where people are making lines already for some of the talks, and it looks like it's a really cool scene where like it's kind of a happening conference. And it looks packed, which is really, really great to see, considering we're in the depths of a bear market. And then, wait, sorry, that's not the right thing. What is this? Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, there's more pictures from Ken here. So the people getting ready for the NOAA panel, which was the Node Operator Association. So that's line forming for the panel, people going into there. That panel took place yesterday. Here there's a picture from the panel. So that's actually a better picture on the next tab. So we have Wanda from the Node Operator Association. We have Ariel from SSV. We have O'Sheen from Obol. We have Vasily from Lido. And we have someone from Stakewise. I'm sorry, I don't know their name. And we also have Langers right here on the second from the right, who obviously was representing Rocket Pool. So it's really great that they were talking. Afterwards, the Rocket Pool team were doing like some kind of like mingling. So we had Kane and langers walking around the conference center. And here there's a picture of Kane with Patricio Warthalter and Kane. So that's great to see Patricio out there representing POAP, always looking sharp as always. And a really interesting thing came up about this picture, the top one. So it's Langers and Kane wearing their Rocket Pool shirts, but right here on the top left corner of Langers' shoulder, it looks like there's a Lido sticker on there. So people are making a lot of jokes about wait, let me find it. There were some really good ones about how we got hacked again, like the team got hacked. Let me see, where are the comments? Yeah, Ken says, more importantly, what is that logo on the back of Langers? And Dookie Rocket Pool Korea said, do we have a compromised node? Everybody panic. Is this the last compromised ODA node? And then Maverick saying, wow. And I actually let up some really funny jokes. So maybe you can go and like have a look around there. And next, we had some more updates from Ken. He's saying, just a quick update from DevCon. The crowds are beginning to form again, and it's looking to be a fun day. This is the best swag in the entire conference. So people kind of making ID card stickers for your DevCon lanyard, and it could be like NFT with like your name. So that looked really cool. And here Ken gives a little closer picture of the lanyard sticker that you can put on your lanyard, and it's like an ENS, it's an ENS name, and it's got like a POAP, I think, that goes with it. I'm not sure if that's a POAP or if that's a sticker, but that's really, really cool. And this is for the talk that was happening during the stakers panel. And like it was a packed room. I think I see one empty seat here, but I think that's because the person on the floor was taking a picture that got off their seat. But it looks like it was a packed house, which is really great to see as well. And yeah, I think everything with the conference is going really well. Oh, there's another couple of things here as well. Let me see. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. So next we had from the node operators panel, which was hosted by Wanda. There was an interesting comment made by the co-founder of Lido, and Maverick explained. He said during the DevCon panel talk, Vitalik, that's the Lido co-founder, said it only makes sense for the big companies to run validators, and all independent stakers are irrational. My connection was really choppy though, so I'm trying to find the recording to get an exact quote. Basically, trash talked all the little guys, helping to keep the network decentralized. Really classy stuff. His point was that you could probably do better with liquid staking. It was just not communicated very well. And of course, you can give the benefit of the doubt a little bit to Vasily for English being a second language, or maybe even a third language. But it was really like strange way for like such a big organization to kind of downplay smaller operators in the community. I think it was kind of insulting, but hey. Next, so there was more stuff going on at DevCon as well. So this is from this morning. We had a talk by Langers, Darren Langley, who said how to build a decentralized Ethereum liquid staking protocol, and talked through a lot of what Rocket Pool was doing and what's been happening with Rocket Pool, which is really wonderful. And then there was another talk as well. Wait, where is that? Give me a second. There was another talk for Ken's talk with the smoothing pool. I'm sorry, I don't have. I'll actually just scroll to it. Give me a second. Okay, I'm nearly there now. So Ken also had a talk about the smoothing pool and how it works for Rocket Pool, how it works for being part of that, and the title of the talk for Ken's talk was, does it make sense to aggregate and average fee recipient rewards using a smoothing pool, which was a really enjoyable talk as well. And I'm really glad that everyone's having a great time out at DevCon and like really sharing good information. So finally, there's a bit of a topic that kind of caught trading aflame and like really took over all night and pretty much all morning as well. So Avaratar said, hey, can someone please explain why the RPL tokenomics makes sense? You buy RPL for your node, then get RPL rewards every epoch, which comes from inflation. The only way for the price to sustain is by people joining after you, doing the same thing. Obviously, Rocket Pool is no Ponzi, so what am I missing? And Patches says, you're missing the part where it is a Ponzi. Thanks Patches for that. And then Patches says, I guess I'll frame it from the rETH perspective as well. It says, well, here's what the state of the world is now, and now it helps protect yield, but how? Oh no, sorry, that's replying to a different thing. Here Patches says, basically the price of any token relies on people buying it after you. Buys make the price go up. RPL has additional utility because it unlocks commission. Whether that utility makes it less Ponzi like is for you to decide. And then Avaratar comes back and says, right, but usually you don't deposit a token to get more of the same token in the future, except for DeFi stuff and farms and things like that. So basically this started a whole discussion where Noshua came in and said there are definitely people that think tokenomics don't make a lot of sense. Node operator rewards are a huge chunk of inflation, and the protocol is struggling with funding in other areas. Nodes are way over collateralized. It doesn't make any sense for security reasons. It's just people farming inflation. At the same time, protocol growth is limited by number of mini pools, and node operators choosing to hold RPL instead of running more mini pools goes against that. So this is definitely like a legitimate issue where, you know, there's a million RPL tokens in staking contracts right now that are withdrawable because it's over 150%, and that issue, like, that could spin up hundreds of mini pools potentially and clear the deposit pool that's nearly full right now. So there were both sides of the discussion kind of talked about it all night long, and they talked about everything from PDAO income to ODAO income, and how that's like way overpaying for ODAO. And then on top of that, people talked about burning RPL, doing a buyback and burn mechanism. A lot of different ideas were posted. The discussion literally went on for hours and hours, like all night long, and people talked about all sorts of things. And then a couple of hours later, Butters had a interesting point. He said there is a known cycle: price goes up, everyone is happy; price goes down. Hello devs, that's like meme speak. ODAO. Okay, we need better marketing. Price got up, everyone happy. So it can, like, it's, you know, this whole discussion aligning with the drop in the ratio over the last couple of days can kind of make sense, like, to juxtapose those two things together. However, I think some of the points that came, and he said it's like clockwork. Butter says it's like clockwork. However, some of the points that were brought up are like legitimate points about ODA funding, about making sure that node operators are, how we can incentivize them to work in the best interest of the protocol and themselves, and how do align those incentives in a way that can maximize all that stuff. There was a lot of discussion going on. Obviously, I'm a person who is currently over collateralized on my node, and I do want to spin up more nodes to make it more effective. So I don't know. It's like a really complicated topic, and we've been talking about it for literal months, but it seemed like overnight and this morning it's all anyone wanted to talk about. So there was that. And then this morning, like a good 10 hours later, basically, Maverick comes in and says, this isn't the same discussion for 8 hours, right, guys? So yeah, it was pretty much like it happened all night. Now, if you want to go back and read some of those comments, you can search for Avaratar's name, and you can like kind of just start reading there and read 10-12 hours worth of trading. Good luck. I was complaining about that in trading this morning, and I was like, you guys talk way too much. It's taking me way too long to get through all this for the video. But on that note, this video is running really long. That packed a lot into this episode today, so I'm going to end it. But yeah, go back and read that discussion if you want. So thanks everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.